Okay, hello everybody. Good morning here from Plymouth in the United Kingdom. Perhaps good afternoon or good evening to you, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to this University of Plymouth International College, UPIC, pre-departure webinar for students joining us for the first time in January 2025. We'll start with some introductions of my colleagues who are on the call. So perhaps we could start in Nigeria, couldn't we? Maria, Ruth, would you like to say hello?
Hi everyone, thank you for joining our webinar. My name is Maria. I'm Senior Recruitment Coordinator. I'm based in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Ruth?
Hello everyone, my name is Ruth Orai, Student Recruitment Coordinator. I'm based here in Lagos, Nigeria.
Great, thank you both. If we come back to Plymouth, Matthias, would you like to start and then pass the baton on to our other colleagues?
Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to meet you all. I'm the College Director and Principal for UPIC. Jake.
Hello everyone, my name is Jake and I'm one of the Student Experience Officers here at UPIC, and I'll pass on to Anita.
Hello everyone, I'm the other Student Experience Officer here at UPIC. My name is Anita, by the way. Pass it on to Amber.
Thanks, Anita. Hi, my name's Amber. I'm the Marketing and Student Recruitment Coordinator here at the college. I'll pass over to Amy.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Amy and I am one of the admissions officers here at UPIC based in Plymouth. Thanks for joining us today.
Is that all of our colleagues introduced now? I hope we haven't missed anybody. Let me just check. I think that's everyone, isn't it? Okay, so I hope that you can see my screen and that you can see we've got a packed agenda for you for the next half an hour or so. So lots of really important information here for students who are going to join us in January. We know the kinds of things that students typically ask, but if we leave any of your questions unanswered, then please feel free to use the chat function as we go along, or we'll leave time at the end for any questions that you have. So hopefully we can get everything covered that you need to know to join us in January. So as you can see from the topics, we've done the introduction, we've introduced you to our team. We'll describe to you the Student Hub services, everything that's available there. We'll talk about our accommodation offer, all the important dates, so for last arrival in the UK, how to get here. So not just how to get from your home country to the UK, but once you're in the UK, how to get to Plymouth. We'll talk to you about the student visa, the things that you need to do there, about the medical centre, about our induction week activities, all the semester dates, so enrolment, start of teaching, examinations, all of that kind of thing. We will introduce you to UPSU, which is the University of Plymouth Students' Union, and that's your representative body once you join UPIC and move on to the university. And then Amber will talk you through all of our social media so that you can see all the many and various ways you can stay in touch with us before you arrive and after you join as well. Anita, would you like to introduce the student services? Sorry, the student experience team.
Hello. So we are the Student Experience team here at UPIC. So you probably see most of us, and we are a team of 3, so including Toby, myself, and Jake. And we will help you from the moment you step into the college, or actually step into the UK. If you have any question, we always here for you 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Please do not come in for a weekend, or you can simply just drop us an email. We can help you.
Well, actually, Anita, there is an emergency phone line, isn't there, for the weekend?
That is correct.
As you said so correctly, so these are the standard office and college opening hours from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. But we do have an email address there and an emergency telephone number in case anything crops up out of office hours, but we can help you with. And the student experience team is a really important part of the college. We know, because lots of us have done it ourselves, that going to study abroad can be quite challenging. There's a lot to get used to. And the student experience team are here to help you with all of your practical questions about orientation. There's no question too small. Anything that you need to know, we can help you with. And we are in the college, we're on the edge of the university campus, and all of our students can access all of the services that all university students can access through the Student Hub. And the Student Hub is located in the library, right in the heart of the campus. And there you have things like student learning services, the welfare team, counselling service, disability and dyslexia service, student centre and immigration. So lots of support we can offer you here in the college, and lots of support as well through the university, through the Student Hub in the university library. Campus map we won't dwell on too long. As I said, we are in the college, we are on the edge of the university campus, which is very close to the city centre, to the train station, to the rail station. Train and rail, that's the same thing, to the train station and the coach station. But a better way of having a look at that would be to pass to Amy, who is going to launch her drone and take us on a virtual tour of the university campus and the city, so you can get an idea of the kind of place that Plymouth is, not just to study, but to live and to enjoy. Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Tim. I am just going to share my screen. Tim, can you see the drone?
Yep.
Perfect.
Flying
Thank you.
high.
Oh, I'll take my time then. And thank you all for joining. I will move the drone around slowly so that you can get a really clear view of what we have to offer. Starting here, this is the UPIC building. So we are at the end of a lovely tree-lined avenue, and we are only a short walk down this avenue here to the campus. So I'm going to turn around slowly so that you can see exactly where I am. So right here is the central point of the university. You've got the library here, which is open 24/7. You've got the Students' Union here, and then you've got a number of the faculty buildings. So over here, you've got Roland Levinsky building. You have got the Scott building and the Marine building here. And the newly renovated Babbage building hosts our engineering courses. So for any of you on our engineering courses, that is where a lot of your classes will be. But for where you need to sleep and eat in your off time, I will show you some of our accommodation buildings. These are just some of the university options that you can choose from. So if I take you inside of one of them, I'm going to show you inside Gilwell Hall. So this particular example is a single room. It is not an ensuite, but this particular option, you can see it is cozy, it is bright, and it actually has a shared kitchen facility so that you can cook along with all of your other sort of housemates in there. So whilst we don't obviously provide the food, you can avail of the many multicultural supermarkets in the city. You can see this particular option here is quite spacious. There's lots of space for everyone to cook here during their free time. If I take you back outside then, just to get our bearings, there are other accommodation options, and we will talk about that a little bit later. But for your free time, I'd like to show you beyond here, which is our lovely Plymouth Sound. So this is where the ocean is over at Plymouth Hoe. Before I take you there, I would like to just show you the harbour area, because it is somewhere where, I mean, we all love to socialise. Firstly, you can see the marine station. So for any of you on our marine courses, you will get the opportunity to engage in some practical work there. Free time. This is a great place to spend your free time. So even just the marina itself, which is quite large, you can have a walk around. Then along here, along the Barbican, you've got restaurants, cafes, bars, ice cream shops. And it's a great place to just take a walk in an evening or on a Sunday morning. And you can follow the edge all the way around here to Plymouth Hoe. You may recognise Smeaton's Tower, which is one of the landmarks here. We've also got the Tinside Lido, and both of these points are great places to spend your free time, in particular in the nicer weather. So at the moment, it is a little bit cold, and the pool here is not the best weather for swimming in, but it is a great place to visit. So just to give you some perspective of where we've come from. So the university's there where we started. You've got the marina over here, which I recommended you could walk all along here. And then before I take you back to the university, I just want to show you a little over to the left here. So in the distance, you can see Cornwall, a great place to visit on the weekend. It's worth spending time over there. You've got Royal William Yard, another area a bit like the Barbican and Marine area where you can go and have a coffee or a pasty or take a walk. And all across here is where the city of Plymouth is spread out. So I will show you a little bit more of that in a moment. And I will show you from the university how you would get to the city centre. So you've got just over here, you've got Drake Circus. And then just down here, you've got our high streets. There's plenty to see and do there. We've got an amazing theatre down at the bottom here. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got a lot of multicultural supermarkets and restaurants that caters for most of the countries of our students. Before I finish, I would like to take you back over this direction, and I will zoom in a little bit and show you two things. This building here is Intercity Place. For any of you on any of our health courses, you will spend a lot of your time in this building in first year. Just behind that, you've got the railway station. So if you've flown from Lagos, from Kathmandu, from Zimbabwe into Heathrow, you can get a train from there to here. And you can take a 5 to 10 minute walk up here to UPick, where Jake, Anita, and Toby will greet you. So some of your classes may be there. Otherwise, we are here from 8:30 to 5 Monday to Friday, should you need any support. So that is UPick, that is the university, and that is Plymouth, and we look forward to welcoming you here. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Amy. Maria, you had a chance to visit last year, didn't you? Would you like to share your impressions of Plymouth as a first-time visitor?
Yeah, sure. To all our students here, I know for every student traveling to study, you have if an area you want to be sure it's available, your safety, a friendly environment, a conducive environment for your studies. And I want to assure you that when I got to Plymouth, I found that Plymouth is so beautiful, it's safe, the people are nice, and the environment, it's what a student needs to excel. There are lots of places you could want to relax. When Amy was taking us around with the drone, she mentioned Royal William Yard. And I did say, you've not been to Plymouth until you visit Royal William Yard. I just want to put that to you that when you get to Plymouth, visit it. It's cool. It's a place for you to relax, re-energize, and strategize. It's a very nice place. And one thing again I love about Plymouth is that there are lots of restaurants for different nationalities. Yeah, so whichever country you're coming from, if you miss your meals, your home meals, you could find a place to eat them. And those who are Nigerians, I saw Nigerian shops, Nigerian restaurants. So in fact, Plymouth is home. And I can assure you that you're going to have a great experience studying there. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Maria. We should pause there to see if people have any questions. I see that Amy invited you to ask in the chat if you'd like to write your questions. Or please feel free to raise your hand if you would like to speak, but let's just give it a moment before we move on to Jake and Anita, who are going to talk to us about our accommodation provision. But any questions before that? Okay, let's move on. Over to you, Jake, Anita. What's great about Plymouth's accommodation?
Perfect. So thank you, Tim. So what's great about Plymouth's accommodation is, first of all, it is very, very close to the campus. So most of the student accommodation that we have to offer is a 5 to 10 minute walk. That means it's really, really easy for you to get to your lectures, get around Plymouth, etc., etc. As seen on the slide, Cleverlets, who offer the majority of UPick's accommodation, offer a variety of different rooms, such as en-suites and also shared bathrooms as well. But they are very, very cheap. So the good thing is that it is, as it says here, low cost prices, so £100 a week. So that is a very, very cheap accommodation. That is the average price in Plymouth. So that's a lot cheaper than you get in London, Manchester, etc. is a great place to live as well. So if you look at the stats on the screen, so it's the top 2 UK Young University, top 15 safest UK university, and obviously the top 5 for UK Marine and Teaching. So it is really, really good, and it's also very, very easy to apply as well. So as you can see at the bottom, an online application form. This is also on our website as well. So you just fill out the application form, and someone from the accommodation team will be in touch to help you move in. So yeah, it's a really, really easy and nice process with very, very cheap and great accommodation as well.
Great, thanks, Jake. Anita, anything you'd like to add?
No, I mean, roughly, Jake covered most of it already anyway. But like Jake said, most of the accommodation is within the 10 minutes walk with city center, and then it's very close to shop. Everything you need is basically in city center, and it's also very close to the university as well. And in terms of option, you do have ensuite option like Jake suggests. There's also a studio option that will give you what I meant is studio is you got your own bathroom, you got your own kitchen as well. So you will be a little bit more independent for that option. But that option will show on when you apply on the website.
Thanks, Anita. I can see Philip has asked, regarding the accommodation, I got an email saying to pay £500 in advance to secure a room. When I get there, do I have to pay a semester rent in full, or can I pay weekly or monthly?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, first of all. So yeah, so you need to pay your deposit first to secure your room, and then the weekly or monthly payments. So if you have a guarantor, and you have a guarantor who is approved and everything like that, then you can arrange weekly or monthly payments with Cleverlets. If you don't have a guarantor, it will be termly. There is companies, which I'm sure we can send an email out to people to send them, is with guarantor websites, which you can use to act as your guarantor. But it really is down to the accommodation provider. So I would suggest, if that's something you're looking forward to looking at, maybe emailing them for more information.
Thanks, Jake. And as Anita said, it's one of the great things about the accommodation here is it's just so convenient. Plymouth is such a student-friendly city. £100 may look like a lot of money, but that could be 2 or 3 times that amount in London or another big city. So it is really good value compared with other UK cities. And convenience, all the accommodation is close to the college is close to the university. Everything's close to the city centre and the waterfront, so really convenient place to be a student. So, as Jake mentioned, online application form on our website. If a student completes that form, what happens next, Jake?
So yes, as soon as a student completes the form, they will receive 2 emails. So first of all, they'll receive an email from me and Anita confirming that the booking has been sent, and sort of signaling the next sort of steps that will be taking place. Up to 48 hours after the email has been, the form has been sent, a member of the Cleverlets accommodation team will reply to this email offering 3 to 4 different choices for accommodation. If any of them take your fancy and you like them and you pick it, then they will go through the payment confirmation. So they will ask for a deposit. As Philip has mentioned, he's been received that email, and when that's been sent and the right to rent has been all filled out, you can come in and collect your keys. So it is really, really simple process. So it is, as the slide says, it is just a 1 to 5 process. It is very simple, and we do help you every step of the way with securing accommodation.
Thanks, Jay. I can see there's a question there about our free accommodation offer for pre-masters students. So if you would like to take advantage of that offer, you still need to complete the accommodation application form, but we would then make the accommodation payment to Clever Student Lets, and this is our preferred accommodation provider. So but you need just to pay us the full tuition fee, and then we would pay the accommodation on your behalf. Jake, Anita, I booked accommodation, but I'm yet to receive an email to that effect. So how long should a confirmation take to arrive?
A confirmation should take 2 to 3 days. I will look into that and find out for you what's happening on that end, and I will. You should get an email very, very soon.
How much do I have to pay to secure the CAS and the visa? That's quite simple. So for undergraduate students, it's 50% of a tuition fee for the first year before we release the CAS. Amy, do you want to take this question? I see you've raised your hand. You don't trust me. I might give wrong information.
No, my hand is actually raised for a different point I just wanted to raise. So a couple of students have asked different accommodation questions. So I've written something there, but I wanted to emphasize if someone has not had their question answered in the comprehensive information that Jake and Anita have given, to just write up their question again, and we'd be happy to help. Sorry, with regards to the how much do I have to pay to secure the CAS and the visa, on all of your offer letters, you will see the first year of your studies here. You will see the cost, and then under that, you will see in a box the request to pay your tuition. So once you pay the tuition, we will then proceed to the next steps, and we would need all of that tuition before issuing the CAS for you to apply to the visa. So as Tim was saying, for the pre-masters, we would need all of that fee. And if you are foundation or first year, we would require 50% of your first year of studies before we proceed towards the CAS.
Thanks, Amy. I think we should be up to date now with the questions, but please remind us if we've missed anything. So moving on, airport pickup. It might feel as though getting from your home country to this one is the difficult bit, but you still need to finish that last part of the journey. So whichever international airport you arrive at, there's still a journey left to do to Plymouth, down in the southwest of England. Most likely, you'll come into London Heathrow. And from there, we can offer an airport pickup service. It does need to be booked in advance. And there's a booking form on our website, and you'll get a confirmation of that booking once it's complete. The price of this is around £250, depending upon the airport. One thing I would say, when you're planning getting to Plymouth, please don't just walk outside of the airport and get into a cab, because it will cost you very much more than that. So a taxi driver at London Heathrow would probably be very happy to bring you to Plymouth, but it would cost you a lot of money. So you do need to plan your journey to Plymouth in advance, know how you're going to get here, and there are a number of options. So not just taxi, but train or coach, or a number of different ways. By train, that would mean travelling into central London, which is a very short journey, and then out again to Plymouth, which is about 3.5 to 4 hours by train. When you arrive in Plymouth, as we showed you before, the train station is very close to the college, very close to the university. So very easy onward journey from there. But if you've got luggage, a short taxi ride can help with the luggage. The cheapest way of getting here would be by coach, and there are direct coaches from the bus station at Heathrow to Plymouth, and they run about every 2 hours. A little bit slower, I guess, than the train, perhaps not quite as comfortable, but more cost effective. And then finally, the private collection service, which I mentioned before, so that would need to be booked in advance. So just make sure that you've got everything properly planned, so that when you land at the airport, you know what you're doing next, and you can have a safe and a comfortable onward journey. Understanding your e-visa. I don't understand the e-visa, Anita. Can you explain it to me?
Yes, of course. So obviously, normally you receive a BRP card. However, they are going to digital now. So you will no longer have a physical BRP card to collect when you arrive in the UK. So what they call it now is you have to get an e-visa, which is kind of similar to the BRP card. So everything is go online. So when you arrive, you will have to give us or provide us a share code, and then we will be able to confirm and check your information online. And there's a QR code on the screen at the moment. So if you need any more information, you can scan that, and then you should be able to find the information. Suggesting on the slides, you do need your share code for to complete your right to rent as well. So when you arrive in the UK in the accommodation, they will ask for your share code as well to prove that you can brand in the UK as well.
Thanks, Nita. Can see the questions about football in the chat. You may not know, but our local team is currently managed by Wayne Rooney, a very famous name in English football history. University Medical Centre. So all new students can take advantage of the University Medical Centre, which is right in the heart of the campus. All you need to do to be able to do that is register with a GP, general practitioner. So that's a local doctor here in Plymouth. You can register where you like, and then that gives you access to all of the university's medical centre facilities. Coming on to some of the important dates that you need to know. So what are we now? We're less than 2 months away, aren't we? So we will be enrolling new students during the week of Monday the 13th to Friday the 17th of January 2025. So ideally, we would love you to be here at the start of that enrolment week, because we have all kinds of other activities for you, not just the enrolment, but that is the enrolment week from Monday the 13th of January. On the day of registration, you will need to bring certain things with you. So a valid passport, not just any valid passport, your valid passport, your e-visa, a UK phone number if you have one, and a UK address of the accommodation that you've booked. Also, we'd love to see emergency contact details for 2 people ideally that we can get in touch with if you need any support. So yes, so please do try and aim to be here by Monday the 13th of January so you can enjoy all of the induction week activities that we have planned. UPIC welcome talks. So along with all the other activities, you'll have dedicated welcome talks from the college management team, from Matthias that you met earlier, our college director. There will be program specific talks. There'll be an introduction to how to join your classes, how to access and use the student portal. So I think you can see that if you miss those talks, you're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage with lots of catching up to do. So please do try and get here for induction week so you can take advantage of all of that great information. So I mentioned the orientation week, 13th to the 17th of January. Teaching starts for undergraduate students on the 20th of January and for postgraduate students as well. But for postgraduate students, the first day of teaching is the last enrolment date. For pre-masters is a short program. So we're really concerned that if students arrive late for that, you're missing a big chunk of the program already if you miss just a week. So last day of postgraduate enrolment is the first day of teaching, which is the 20th of January. For undergraduate students, we can have a little bit more flexibility around enrolment. So the end of the second teaching week, Friday the 31st of January, is last day of undergraduate enrolment. Accommodation fees, so you pay a deposit and then the balance for your accommodation becomes due when you arrive and you move into your accommodation. The fees for the next semester, starting in May, are due on the 21st of March for students who are continuing with us. The examinations, the examination week for that first semester of 2025 is between the 14th and the 18th of April, and then term ends at the end of that examination week. So hopefully that's all clear. Please do try to be with us for orientation week. If you're a pre-master student, please no later than the first day of teaching. All of our students should be here with us and up and running by the end of January. And then that term carries through until the 18th of April, ending in the examination week. Students' Union. So you can see Dindu there is president of a student union. He is the second UPIC former student who has gone on to take that executive post in the university's students' union. So we think that's a great example of how UPIC students are integrated from the start in university life, in the university community, and they then go on and hold positions of responsibility within the student union. Dindu is the president. The VP Education, Darcy there, VP Activities is Joshua, and the Vice President for Wellbeing and Diversity is Krupa. So do please feel free to get involved with the Students' Union. It's the students' representative body. They're there to support your needs and interests. They run all kinds of clubs and societies as well, hundreds of them. So whatever your interest, there should be something there for you. Or if there isn't, you can set something up. So yes, please do get involved with the Students' Union right from the start if you possibly can. Amber, tell us about our social media.
Sure, thanks, Tim. Yeah, so we are active across several social media channels. We have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We are looking to build our TikTok, but I'll talk to you about that in just a second. So our main idea is to get as much info as we can to students about what's going on campus, all the latest events, and what's happening in the Plymouth City Centre as well. So when you arrive, you feel like you have places to go, you can integrate with other students, and it's just a really nice way to get involved. What we also use social media for is important information about your studies. So anything to do with exam week or your timetables, we would post there. But what I would say is that the student experience team do send you information via email. So please get into the habit of checking your emails today and then as you progress as well and you join us at the college. Yeah, so what I would say, we're really keen to get some more student-led content. So if you're really good with creating reels, like photography, anything like this, we would love to collaborate with you. If you're doing a marketing degree, that could be really helpful for your career. But if you just want to get involved and see your name in lights, then yes, do get in touch and then we can work together.
Great, thank you, Amber. I might ask you to take the next one as well, because you like a bit of shopping, don't you?
Love a bit of shopping, Tim. Yeah, so what we've done, we've put together a grocery shopping list guide for you. What I will do, or what Tim will do, we'll make sure we send you a PDF file, because it's not just your British supermarkets. We also tell you about the different world food stores that we have in Plymouth, so you can get a taste of home and you can get cooking as well in your kitchen. A brief introduction, we would say that if you look at this chart, the most expensive shops are Waitrose and then perhaps Sainsbury's. And then maybe if you're on more of a student-friendly budget, we would suggest Lidl and Aldi. There's quite a few of these stores around the city centre and a little bit on the outskirts as well, especially with the larger stores. So yes, that's a lot of information in 30 seconds, but we will send you a guide to get more info on that.
Great, thank you, Amber. I think, yeah, it's worth repeating that idea that it's there's real diversity of food available in Plymouth now, both in shops and in cafes and restaurants. So the market, for example, has a Nepalese and a Mauritian cafe. Lots of places to get jollof and plantain, and an incredible range of foodstuffs available now in Plymouth, reflective of our really diverse student and city community as well. Halal food is available, yes, absolutely, Sultan. Yep, lots of options for halal food too. Right, now we are getting close to the end, but we know there are always certain questions which lots of people have. So as a team, we'll do a little bit of role play and take you through these questions. If you find when we've finished there are still things you'd like to ask, then we have as much time as you need to go through any additional questions there may be. But we know that people often ask, for example, how can I enroll if I haven't received my visa yet, Jake?
So you cannot enroll if you have not received your visa. So it's really, really important that you make sure that all the steps are put in place for you to be able to enroll. So if you're having any visa problems, please just contact us and let us know. Anita, can I live anywhere in the UK?
No. You cannot. Well, it need to be a commutable distance. So ideally, you do require to live in Plymouth, because just imagine if you have a 9 o'clock class in the morning, it does happen, 9 a.m. And how are you going to come to Plymouth if you live very far? So the answer is no. Please try to find accommodation in Plymouth, please.
Thank you, Anita. Who would you like to pass on to?
Ooh, I will say Amy, maybe.
Thank you. While you're here, you can get a part-time job. You will see on your visa that you are limited to 20 hours per week during term time. Outside of term time, you can work 40 hours per week. However, if you do some calculations, you'll realize that your working hours and the wages you get won't be enough to fund your studies and your accommodation. So while you can get a part-time job, you cannot rely solely on that. So you'll need to prepare your finances before traveling. When do I have to pay the second installment of my fees? We did actually get a question about this in the chat. But Jake, can you confirm, please, for me? I believe it's week 9. Is that right?
Yeah, so the second installment of your fees will be in week 9, which I believe will be in the middle of March. But we will send you an email about the start of February time to remind you of that. So please bear that in mind, that the second installment of your fees will be due in March.
You can also pay that in equal installments. So after
Yeah.
3, 6, and 9 weeks. So the balance is due by the end of week 9. But if it's easier for you to manage your finances, then you can pay in 3 installments up to the end of week 9.
Tim, do I need to buy a laptop?
You ideally need to have access to a laptop. So if you have one, bring it with you. But you don't need to spend an absolute fortune on this. There are lots of shops in Plymouth that offer lower cost new laptops or even refurbished laptops, and those refurbished laptops will come with a warranty. So it's not a big risk purchase. They'll have been properly sorted out with a guarantee. And they would start from around £200. I would also just say make sure that you have a laptop which has the Microsoft Office suite on it, because you will, whatever your subject, you'll need to have access to Word. You'll almost certainly need to have access to Excel. So just make sure you've got MS Office software on there. The university campus does have lots of computer rooms, and some of those, especially in the library, are open 24/7. So you could manage without a laptop, but you will probably want to do some work at home rather than be on university campus all the time. The other thing is to say you do need a laptop rather than think you can do everything on your phone. You will need a bigger screen, you'll need a proper keyboard. So yeah, ideally you do need a laptop, but that doesn't have to be a huge money investment. Ruth, you haven't had a chance to speak yet. Do you know what the last day is I can arrive in the UK?
Thanks, Tim. So the last day that you're supposed to arrive in the UK, I think it's on the by the 20th of January. I don't know if I'm correct.
You are correct for pre-master students, absolutely.
Yeah.
20th of January.
Yeah,
Undergraduate students is the 31st of January. So the end of the second teaching week for undergraduate students, the very latest, and the first day of teaching for pre-master students. But ideally, we'd love to see you all here by the 13th of January for the start of the induction week. What's the first thing I should do? Matthias, what do you think the first thing I should do is once I arrive at the airport in the UK?
Well, I think the first thing to do is collect your bags and hopefully find your collection point, and you would have pre-booked your travel perhaps, and if not, you'll be looking for the train station in your airport to get you to somewhere like Paddington that will get you a train down into Plymouth. But as Tim suggested earlier, don't jump into a taxi at the airport, otherwise you'll pay a huge amount of money to get you all the way down to Plymouth, and it will take longer than the train as well. Have I missed something there, Tim?
No, that's great. Also you could give us a call to let us know that you've landed and to expect you. If you have an accommodation booking, ideally you'd arrive during office hours to collect your keys. But if you're not going to be here during office hours, Clever, for example, can be very flexible about making somebody available to provide your keys for you. But of course, they would need to know when you're going to arrive. And that's it, pretty much. So have we covered all of your questions, or are there other things you would like to know? Sultan, you asked about last day to arrive. I think we've just covered that, and Amy has answered in the chat as well.
Tim,
yes.
I would just like to ask, there are 1 or 2 questions for which I couldn't answer because the name people are using, is not the same as the application.
Sure.
So I would just ask the student to contact us directly through their student portal if any of you haven't had your questions answered, and I'd be happy to help.
Okay, thank you. Daniel's pre-master student. Do you have to pay a booking fee? No, there's no booking fee. There is a deposit to secure the accommodation, and then you would need to pay the balance when you move into the accommodation, but there's no booking fee.
I just also want to mention about when you arrive in the UK as well, you should receive an email from UKVI to ask you to do your right to study check. So please complete that. You will have to upload your vignette. You will also need to upload your passport. Please make sure you complete that before you come to the college for your enrollment. So please make sure you check your email, please.
Thanks, Anita. Can anyone see that more clearly than I can? The last question in the chat, I was a little late, I apologise. Can you quickly talk about, and then it disappears for text?
If I can help you, Tim, that it says where to find quality accommodation and how to book your top choice.
Okay, thank you. The best place to start would be on our website. So if you go to our homepage, there's a quick link to the accommodation area that describes all kinds of options which are available. They are through Clever, which is a letting agent we know well, but there are lots of other options available in the city. There are over 100 letting agents in the city of Plymouth. So a quick Google search will bring up loads of those options for you. I think given that Plymouth is such a student-friendly city, in your position, I would be looking for something which is close to the centre, close to the college and the university campus, because there is a lot of accommodation that meets those criteria. So no need to compromise on being further away. You don't need a bus journey or a train journey. You can be an easy walking distance of the campus. So I would be looking for that. In the UK, there are strict regulations around accommodation quality. So in effect, all of the accommodation will have been quality controlled. So you can expect good condition, clean, safe accommodation. One other thing to look out for, or actually two other things which are really important, are that if you book through Clever, for example, or through another agency which is very used to dealing with students, then they should be able to offer you a contract for the length of time that you need. Other private landlords, which are more used to letting to working people, may offer you a 52-week contract, and that may include some weeks that you don't need, where you're not going to be in the accommodation. So I would be careful about that as well. Make sure that it's a student-friendly contract that only charges you for the number of weeks that you're going to use. And the other really important thing to look out for when you're booking accommodation is whether utilities are included as well. So as you'll probably know, the price of gas and electricity has become much higher in lots of countries around the world, and that's true in the UK as well. So if all of the utilities are included in the rent that's quoted, then that's advantageous. Just be careful that you don't see a figure for rent of a room and then find that you need to pay £100 or £200 a month extra for gas and electricity. So just be very careful about checking what's included. Anything else? Any other questions we need to ask, or any other final thoughts, Matthias?
No, I think as everybody said, and hopefully you get across, we're always delighted to help you. We've got contact numbers that Tim's kindly shared, and when you make that call when you land, we'll be here. If it's during office hours, we'll be here ready to help you and support you to get here. And we just look forward to welcoming you into the building and the start of your educational adventure. So until then, we will be waiting and looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthias. One final image then to leave you with that you can see on the screen is of the British Fireworks Championships. This is just one of the many great things that happen in Plymouth. Every summer, there is over 2 evenings. As soon as darkness falls, there's a major firework display, which is actually a competition between manufacturers. So thousands of people gather over those 2 evenings on the Hoe, the green space next to the water that Amy showed you earlier, and enjoy this massive firework display. So when you arrive in January, you'll only have a few weeks or months to wait until you get to enjoy those fireworks championships. As we mentioned, you have our contact details there on the screen. You're very welcome to get in touch with us with any other questions that you have in the meantime. We very much look forward to welcoming you in January. Have we cleared all the questions, do you think? Amy's
I
answered the
believe it's
question
up to
about
date.
getting a UK number. Okay, if that's everything, colleagues, anything else we need to add? Okay, thank you, colleagues, for your valuable inputs in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, and in Plymouth. Thank you all for your time and attention. And to all of the many people who joined us, thank you very much. We hope that you found this useful, that it's answered your questions. And yeah, we really look forward to welcoming you to Plymouth just in a few weeks from now. So yes, have a great time in between, a great holiday period at the end of the year if you celebrate Christmas. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, thank you, everybody. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.